Yo, 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 yo. My girl Alexa. We are still here.
Always.
The true blues. Always. You're right. Always. Always. I know it's been a little tough after such a great November, a tough start to December, a tough
And
start
for
to my birthday.
Maresca to get Premier League
To get coach
Yeah.
of the month for November. Great, coach. We got a lot to talk about.
Y'all should have announced that a little bit earlier.
I just saw it too. on Instagram, and I was just like, how funny.
Short-lived.
We got the best manager in the Prem last month, and maybe
the worst this month.
Low key. Okay, well, definitely, clearly, you got some thoughts about Maresca. We're gonna get to that. First of all, I just want to welcome everybody to Starter Bench. It's Matt and Alexis here, two true blues and ballers who want to talk about this inflated roster. We are Chelsea, proper Chelsea through and through. And every week, literally every week is different with this team. So it makes the show good because we always get to think about what our best starting lineup is. So if you want to participate, go ahead and hit that QR code, or you know what, I can throw it down here if you just follow these instructions down below and check out minty.com. You can vote with us and come participate. But first, since we last did the show, we've had two games, a loss and a draw. Mm-hmm. And that was coming off of a really bad loss against a bottom table side in Leeds. Yeah. So we wanted to get back with Bournemouth, and we said there would need to be some things. We had a lot of defensive errors that needed to be corrected that last show. What do you think, man? We drew Bournemouth, obviously. What do you think about the game?
Oh my gosh. It sucks because I think we're seeing the byproduct of too many games, not even just for Chelsea, but I think for everybody as a whole. For me as a football fan, it's like, this December period, it feels so lackluster. Everybody just looks tired. Everybody looks tired, and we've got so many games that it's like, how do we manage our expectations for what we hope to see? Because we're not seeing a ton. I felt like that game was lackluster. It was slow. It was just disappointing. You didn't think anything was going to come from us. If anything, Bournemouth actually had the better chances. They had a higher XG, and they had 13 shots compared to 11 of our shots. So honestly, they just played better that game.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I rewatched that game just recently, and I don't think we played bad. Like when I saw the game initially, I was like, we're playing horribly. Rewatching it, it was like we had some scares, like you said. Obviously, I mean, Bournemouth scored, right? They just nearly offside goal, and we kind of came back from that. We had a horrible start to the game. It looked like the beginning of the season when we would just start the games just ridiculously low energy. But then we kind of got back. But to your point, we just don't look like scoring. That point about you and I had spoken earlier about like being too tired. And I agree. I see like some like just lethargic behavior, just, on the field, no real intensity. I thought about the Club World Cup and maybe what effects that might have on it. I looked at some of the other teams that made it at least to the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. Real Madrid is kind of in a slump right now as well. Right. PSG were in a slump a little earlier in the season, but they've kind of course corrected and they're doing their things. And Fluminense, I looked at it. Fluminense looks like they play all year round. Like I just don't even understand the Brazilian schedule. So that's neither here nor there. But
they brought pretty high energy.
They brought so much energy in that Club World Cup, and that was like they had already played something like 70 games. Again, I don't understand the Brazilian league, but looking at all of those teams and what they're doing, I can see maybe that there's a little fatigue from just playing a lot of games, but also I can't make an excuse for that. Like I do think if anything, the exhaustion is more so coming from the constant changes that we're making every week.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
And trying to build a different chemistry with different players playing alongside of you. I think we're struggling to have an identity when he does those changes.
Yeah.
a little bit about at least the Bournemouth game for me. It honestly feels like we're playing without a striker. We're just that's how it feels like we're playing. And the
well, technically, I mean, Liam Delap went out hurt
right.
pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
Mark Guiu came in, and I think you think more highly of Mark Guiu than I do.
I mean, he supplies a good press. Again, none of our strikers right now, in my opinion, are our starting striker. There was even a stat saying that Mikel Merino from Arsenal has scored just as many goals as our striker. And he's not. He's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder. Now, granted, though, I mean, Arteta's been playing that guy as striker, and that guy has turned into prime.
I know.
Like,
he looks fantastic.
He's absolute. Like, he's winning headers. He's scoring tap-ins, but he's also scoring these crazy goals. It's pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that game was definitely disappointing to not get at least a point out of it. And it feels like we just aren't digging deep in those games where we really need the games that we need to close the gap. It's almost like when we play the bigger teams, those actually aren't really our must-win games. Our must-win games are actually these games against Leeds, against Bournemouth, and against those sides. So to see us perform really well against the higher level teams and then kind of drop off, I don't even think that's our players. I think, again, as the manager, when you put out a lineup that doesn't include your best players against the lower level teams, you're making a statement thinking that, oh, we're just gonna walk through this.
Yeah. I'm all for rotation. I'm all for every one of these players who've touched the field has affected the game positively in some circumstances. But again, like we were talking about Arsenal, when I look at Arsenal, they don't make a lot of crazy substitutions. Their subs come from injuries or rotations, like over long periods of time.
And right now they're being consistent, and we see that they have an identity. Yeah. And also, I think as Chelsea fans, I kind of highlighted some common complaints right now, and we can talk about the Atalanta game as well. Yeah. Not using Esteval is concerning.
Yeah.
When, again, we were talking earlier about when we need something special, he's probably the player that we want to make that sub for. But again, thinking too defensively, still playing Tosin, which she's trying to say because they had to take Fofana off, this and that. When it's like, what if we can just move Reece to his position and bring on Andre Santos, someone who actually that is his position as well?
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. Yeah. If we want to go into the Atalanta game.
Yeah, let's talk Atalanta. Like, both lackluster, extremely lackluster. Atalanta, I would say Atalanta was more lackluster than Bournemouth to me.
The thing that was a little bit frustrating about Atalanta, which we'll talk a little bit more on Maresca, is we just didn't have any business losing the game. Like, why couldn't we have just at least held the one goal? I know we've been in positions where it's like sometimes we are going after the second goal, which is how Arsenal felt. So I think as fans, it can be disappointing to see us really go for it in some games, and in other games choose to sit back.
Yeah, we sat back, we got an early lead, and maybe we were trying to protect it a little bit, but it feels out of balance. You know what I mean? It doesn't even make sense where players are playing. Yeah. Let's talk about Maresca a little bit.
Yeah.
One of your topics of the day is literally I think you basically said, Maresca's making crazy subs, I'm just saying, is he just like overcomplicating this lineup? You know what I mean? Like, are his tactics overcomplicated, like, to see this day in and day out? Where are you with Maresca?
Okay, so I know we had talked about it. I had actually talked about it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I can't see him winning the league for us with his substitutions. That just felt like an error that we were seeing early on, because we saw us honestly lose games because of it. We lost Manchester United because of that. And also even in the Brighton game. So just seeing his substitutions, I think at the beginning was just a little bit confusing for me. I tried to get on his page with Barcelona understanding. But these are the subs that we had. So For Fofana, he took Fofana off, and then we had Tosin come on.
Okay.
Which is okay, because I guess he's injured.
Yeah, Fofana's injured. Got to put on the next.
Fofana had came on for Chalobah at the beginning because Chalobah got a red card, or Chalobah got a yellow card. Right. And then we've got Neto for Garnacho, which is fine. That's like for like. Then Fernandez and Gusto, which that doesn't make sense. We don't need Gusto in the middle. Yes, he's got this pace, but he doesn't have the ball handling ability to be able to produce an end product for us like we needed in this game.
Yeah.
So that's confusing. When in all honesty, we could have put on someone like Santos, and then because of this inverted style he's trying to play, you see Cucurella, James, and Gusto all in the midfield at the same time.
Our best three wing backs are all in the midfield. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like he didn't take advantage of the situation.
Yeah. I don't know where we're like, first of all, to your point, Esteval, who had started against Leeds and didn't play too well, got subbed off at halftime, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he got subbed on, maybe the 78th minute of the Bournemouth game after that, to try to we were trying to break the deadlock, and he wasn't really impactful there. Then he doesn't play at all in this Atalanta game. It doesn't make sense.
He's not a player that's been overworked. He's definitely been one of the ones who's managed. So my thing is, Maresca, there's one thing, it's one thing to be managing your players, but I think he missed an opportunity to rest certain players in this game.
Yeah.
Cucurella wasn't on it, and that's okay because he's been on it for some time.
Yeah.
Why aren't we changing players for like?
We have Hato. We've had him. He's been injured and on and off. But and maybe Champions League night is not the night to play Hato. But also, is Champions League.
My thing is, if you're gonna play Josh did fantastic. It's like like for like, Maresca, putting Josh in. He had a great block. His man-to-man press was on point. He ended up with 2 block shots. 100% of his duels were won, and 100% of his tackles. I mean,
absolute baller, was our best defender on the field.
Yeah. Absolute. So I think as a fan, it's just frustrating because this feels like mismanagement because he's overthinking.
Yeah.
Mismanaging in the sense of okay, maybe we could have played Hato. All right. Maybe we put James in the back and then put Santos in the middle as well. Maybe because again, we talked about this a lot earlier that one of the reasons Esteval chose Chelsea was that that he might get the opportunity to play as the 10. My thing is, if Enzo's having a very off game and being slow, why don't we even try Esteval?
That was the point. It was like Esteval hasn't played a lot in the last couple of games. Maybe hasn't shown much since Barcelona. And then you have a chance to bring off Enzo, who played the 10 as well as he could. That seems like an Esteval position for me. I know Cole was absent. I know we're not really doing Buonanotte. That's Esteval. That's not a Malo Gusto.
We want that little bit of magic because I saw something that I guess backs up our strikers a bit, which I don't really want to back them up. But our strikers don't make enough runs while also we have so many incomplete final through balls. So my thing is, if Enzo's giving turnovers, which he's either on it with these deep passes or he's either a step off and too slow, why don't we try Esteval in that position, do a little magic? At least he's going to dribble through some players and maybe we can get better balls through.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's for anybody who's watching this team and watching this game, it's kind of obvious, right? Like we have the players. We have the players in each position.
Yeah.
And then Esteval overlaps right wing and the 10. Neto, you can play him on both wings. Like we have a nice little interchange, but to throw Reece James in the midfield, Malo Gusto in the midfield, things like that, that's where I get a little confused, And
it's I don't mind Reece in the midfield against maybe a more challenging opposition like Arsenal. I think that's a smart move. But again, if we're paying Atalanta, why don't we just keep him right back? He's overcomplicating things, trying to reinvent the game with tactics. tactics don't always win the game. Your best players do. So why don't we just put our best players on the field?
I think so. I think Maresca is showing us that he is a tactician, and those tactics do work in the big games, but they do not work in your regular, cold night on a Wednesday against Leeds. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't work that way. Now, to that point, I do want to talk a little bit about depth chart. I know we're going to talk about Josh Achampong because he played so well in that game. But one thing I do want to say, because we were talking about Reece in the midfield, and I'm a little on the fence about Reece in the midfield, like according to what you're saying, it's like we have players who play these positions very well, and we have depth in these positions. Yeah. Why don't we just play our players at this position? I did see a stat that said our win percentage with Moy Caicedo thus far, and this is in totality since he's been at Chelsea, and we've had a rough year at Chelsea as well, but our win percentage is 52%. So more wins than less wins, I guess, by small margin. With him off the field, though, 25% win percentage. So, of course. So there's a lot of this fatigue and there's a lot of this confusion that it will also be solved once we have Moy back. But we play Everton tomorrow, and we don't have Moy back.
Lack of creativity up top isn't. The thing is,
I don't know though, Alexis, having somebody that is going to have your back if you go and take a risk in the midfield is a real good mental thing for a player.
100%. But the thing is, okay, Moy gets the ball to our wingers.
Yeah.
And if there's again,
I think it's more about Enzo losing the ball. Enzo loses the ball every game, but it looks more serious when he loses the ball in games without.
Recently.
I can't say recently. I've been on Enzo's case all year.
But I've backed him too. I've been on his head before, and I've backed him. Because he's been he was world class in November. He was fantastic. And again, I think he needs to manage that because I think he's playing poorly. But I don't know if I would say every game, because I did say every game. I did say that, and then I got. And then he had a
couple of games, for sure.
Yeah.
Where you looked at him and you were like, wow, he played well.
I think, yes, Moy, he's a great asset. Of course we need him on the field, but I don't think that's the reason we're losing against Bournemouth or losing against Everton. No.
Yeah. We can't drop points against Everton. We can't. And it's funny, you even said just yourself, you said losing against Bournemouth, which it felt like, but we actually tied them. You know what I mean? It was 0-0, but it felt so bad, because we don't have
our expectations as a club. That's why it's supposed to be on paper.
Get a win. You get that goal. We had 70% possession again. Go get a goal.
It definitely feels like a loss because you can see they played way better. They played better than us.
Again, after rewatching, I don't think they played better than us. I think they had better opportunities than us, but we dominated 70% of the game, except for maybe the first 15, 20 minutes. We literally dominated that game, and we just had really bad attempts. It gets to the final third, and we just kind of run out of ideas. And it's like, that's going to be a problem for us all year because we don't have a certified striker. We don't know who our certified wingers are. So that's just that. And Cole Palmer hasn't come back.
Yeah, I think playing without Cole for a while, we've lacked that bit of creativity. There's something that, because I don't know where I rate Cole. That's just how I felt for some time. Because I don't know. I think I need to see him more. But something I saw that was something I realized, okay, we're lacking this little bit. He got on the field and he did like a dummy run. He just let the ball run through and the other player and then continued the run. And I was like, oh, that's that bit we miss when he's not on the field.
100%. We've almost forgotten about it because it's been so long.
Exactly. So I think playing without him for some time, we've been doing fantastic. I just think now, Maresca, when you're moving so many people, what chemistry do you expect? What exactly do you expect? And we talked about it last week, putting Chalobah at right back and things like that. What do you expect for our team? So I think he's just complicating things.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us have problems with rotating players, but it should be like for like.
Right. And it should be rotations. It should not be, oh, we're playing, okay, let's do a completely different setup and we'll have
Yeah.
Reese. No, rotate the players, play the same system that's been helpful for us in the past. Obviously, if we're playing a bigger team where we're not expecting to have more possession or something like an Arsenal or a Barcelona, I completely agree with those over and analysis, and because it's clearly worked. It worked against PSG's, worked against Liverpool,
And I don't
Barcelona.
even think we don't end up with more possession in those games. I think it usually ends up 50-50, but in a typical game, we're usually in 70 and 60.
Right.
Yeah. Which
and,
we
and
have
not able to do anything.
Possession doesn't win games.
Possession does not win games. And that's what I've been trying to tell all Pep and Pep's regions, like
Right.
Arteta, like that's not what wins games. It's these moments, it's players.
Yeah.
It's, it's there's got to be something lit under us. So let's talk about Josh really quickly, just because it's a big topic. He played really well.
Mm-hmm.
We've been missing him. Maresca even said, we asked why, he was asked why Josh didn't play against Bournemouth, and Maresca admitted that he thought that was a mistake. And
I just I don't know. I really, we were talking about it earlier on. I don't think he's winning us the title, but I think we also have an understanding that this is our directors and the club in general and just who they're choosing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't really agree with Maresca's subs and how he's using our players. We have the best squad. You hear so many commentators talk about it. We have some of the best players.
100%.
What's up with these results? Yeah. What's up with not playing Josh after he's got fantastic momentum against Crystal Palace? You're seeing him lock up Mateta, who's a senior player. So my thing is, if we are recruiting the youth and that's our model, why aren't we still playing them when they're doing well?
I think that's the thing, and again, I'm trying to give Maresca grace on that because it is very tough.
Grace is different. There's got to be grace and truth. Grace is
for sure,
but there's got to be.
But here's the truth: the players that are performing well that we want to see more are 18 years old, both of them. Achampong, Esteval, they're too young, to be honest. So there is another side to this, which is play them every game, play them, they're young, they got legs, and then let them play themselves out of form and let the fans start to hate them and things like that. I do think
that's all we have right now, in the sense of our directors aren't buying anyone who's over 25.
Right.
This is what we have. It's not like we have another option.
We're just Young Team FC. We're just
Young Team FC.
We're just Rugrats FC out here.
And my thing is, grace for poor substitutions and fumbling the games that we actually need the points and dropping points. I don't think that's how the Premier League works, in the sense of we've seen managers get sacked for less than that, So, I mean, as of right now, I think I need to kind of clear my mind and get a neutral POV, in the sense of going into this next game, I'm just going to try to not bring last game's feelings into this game. So I'm going to try to do that and see if I can come to a different opinion.
Different opinions, different conclusion. I like that, though. It's just like being a player on the field. You have to have a short memory and you have to go to the next one. But I do think there should be a standard. And
there should be a standard.
We kind of started starter bench because there's really we're in December and we still don't have a standard,
Yeah.
So,
and I think we just, as fans, we want to see some sort of consistency. We want to know what the next lineup's going to be. And we want some sort of understanding. Again, I think we missed an opportunity to maybe rest Cucurella,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, considering we're playing Everton are currently 7th in the league.
I thought they moved up.
I think they moved. I thought they moved up to 7th. At first, I thought they were 13th or something.
They were literally 4th last weekend, and then Crystal Palace and United won, which put them a little bit ahead.
Again, we're in a tight title race. Actually, and look at this. Our boy Reece James Hater has come to the fold, and he has actually changed his name to Reece Fan.
We love that.
Wow.
We love that.
Wow. We love that, Reese Hater, Reese James, Reese fan, all of that. Oops. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to highlight his comment, but anyway, I'll just say it for us all. He says, there it is. The Chelsea title challenge was maybe the short title challenge in history.
Right.
And I don't think that's necessarily true, because to your point, it's only a few points that separate. Now, obviously, we're at what, 25 points or 25 points. Arsenal, I think, sit in the table at 33 points.
I think as Chelsea fans, for me, I want us to do this because we're playing well, not because other teams are messing up.
And I agree with that too.
Which is why the manager per se doesn't like sit right with me, because what we're seeing is the byproduct of Arsenal dropping points in these last 3 games.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And we want, and yes, we want Arsenal to continue to drop points. And we know, because the Prem is where the Prem is right now, that other teams will drop points. So to your point, we need to focus on us. We need to win. We need to win.
Yeah, I just want to win the Bournemouth games and the Leeds games. Those are the games I want to win, because I'm actually not too concerned about when we play the higher teams like Liverpool, beating Barcelona. I don't really think I'm concerned about those teams. I'm more concerned with the mid-table teams that we can't seem to get that last minute goal. Because for me, when we get scored on, it already feels like a loss, because for some reason these players, they feel like they don't have that little push to get that next one, or they turn it on in which game they want.
They do turn it on in which game they want, and that's unfortunate to feel that way too, because remember at the end of last season we had come back from like 5 games in a row. We had come back, and that's just our
youth. So that's just how we're recruiting.
It's just how we're doing it.
I think like players. I was watching a watch along a couple games ago, and they had said, like, I'm just not necessarily excited when any of our players have the ball of like, oh, they're going to do something. Oh, they're going to do this. And I feel like, again, the manager could put on an Esteval or someone like Cole, because that's when us as fans, we're going to feel like something will happen. Although I do think I feel that way when Garnacho's on the field, to be honest, the way he's cutting in and taking shots, I feel like something's going to happen. But
I'm not going to lie, I feel that way with a lot of people, even Gittins. Like I every time I see something, a step over something, I'm like, something's going to happen this time. It's the same feeling I get from Garnacho, which is I see Garnacho cut in on his right foot so often. He has yet to score a goal that way. Or maybe he scored one. No, I don't think he's.
Yeah, but definitely on target. I definitely like seeing that.
It's nice, right? But it's not effective. But again, like, it's something to be hopeful for. So wait, all right, so let's go to Everton, right? Like, let's wipe the slate clean. Bournemouth, Leeds. All right, now we're in December, and we need to get some wins. We have some players back healthy. We have some players who are still suspended. Moi Caicedo. Would you want to see our best 11 for the Prem out there, or would you want to like tweak some things to make sure, like you said, Cucurella needs rest, things like that? Do you want to see our best 11 tomorrow?
I think we have to see our best 11. When we're like catching up now. When you mess up, now we're like trying to recorrect. You didn't rest Cucurella. You didn't do this, so we still have to play him.
Now we got to play. So we got to play.
Yeah, they're good. Everton looks great. They look like they've got a lot of
great. Alexis is a little excessive. They look all right.
I feel like not saying they look great is very dismissive. You've got Ndiaye, you've got Grealish,
Ndiaye's been balling.
You've got Dewsbury Hall. They've been excellent this season.
Dewsbury Hall has like 3 great games, and I haven't seen him ever otherwise. But he had
here we go. You know I'm gonna
come on. Let's. I respect our opponents, but let's not get out of hand. Like
3-0 against Nottingham Forest, 1-0 against Bournemouth. They beat Bournemouth, by the way. They tied Sunderland. We lost to Sunderland, by the way. They beat Man United. We lost to Man United, by the way. They lost pretty badly to Newcastle.
Got smacked by Newcastle.
They beat Fulham. They beat Crystal Palace. We tied Crystal Palace, by the way.
They're digging out results.
They're digging out results.
Shout out David Moyes for being Everton's best manager ever. And they need to recognize that. But anyway, they're digging out results, and they could definitely, again, we're playing them at home. Like, this is this is they could definitely come in and upset us, and we honestly need to come with that fire. We need to come with that fire.
I think it's going to be a challenging game for sure, but I think they've been in good form.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, because we have how many? What's our record right now? How many losses do we have?
I think we have 3 losses in the Prem, maybe 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3. We lost to Brighton as well, and Man United.
And I feel Everton might as well. They might have maybe 1 more loss. Everton record Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just for me, now that I'm really watching the Premier League, you just never know. But I don't want to discredit Everton. We've lost 4 times. They've lost 5 times. We have 4 draws. They have 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We have 7 wins. They have 7 wins. And I think their form, like Ndiaye, he looks sharp.
They're just 1 point behind us. This is a huge game.
It is a big game. It is a big game.
It's a huge game at home. So for the folks watching along, Reese fan, you forgot about Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti, that's the worst he did was at Everton. Go ahead and go to minty.com, use the code, come vote with us. Alexis, this is not just start 2 center backs for Everton. It is, but it's also who are our 2 best center backs? Who are the 2 center backs that you want to see playing in this game?
So our 2 most consistent, I'll give you our 2 best and I'll give you our 2 most consistent. Our 2 most consistent are going to be Chalobah and Fofana, but I think our 2 best are Fofana and Achimpong based on what I'm seeing.
Right. And we didn't answer that question. That was our question. Are you starting Achimpong?
I am because I don't think any of our defenders deserve that starting spot right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Chalobah for I guess seniority and playing in the games, but no.
Yeah. No?
No, Achimpong, I think he did really well in that Palace game, and I also think he really did well this last game.
I do, but again, I'm trying to pick our best lineups. And I do though, and I kind of agree with you. I think maybe Josh is a better center back than Chalobah, but in the realm of our strongest team, our most experienced team, experience comes into play with that. And I think Chalobah still has to play. And
Chalobah, Fofana, but Maresca might be feeling the heat. Watch, he's going to play Achimpong just because
he'll probably play Achimpong because I do think
he's oh shoot, I think I messed up.
Yeah. Some folks have said Hato. I haven't even seen Hato. I would love for him to come on in maybe the 60th minute and give Cucurella a rest if we have the game under control. Yeah. That's kind of those are the rotations I want to see. So if I don't want to see Tosin right now. I don't want to see Badiashile. I want them to kind of work their way back in. Maybe we can play them in Carabao Cup, which we have coming up soon as well. That would be a worthwhile rotation for me. But I don't think we should rotate for Champions League and for Premier League. Okay, let's assume Fofana is back as our number 1 starter, and I'm not going to lie to you,
if he's available.
When he's exactly, if he's available, yeah. Right? He's got this eye thing. He's always got some little nick and knack.
Yeah.
And but kind of to the point of who are our best center backs, Fofana is our best center back when he's available. Hopefully he will be. Hopefully that eye thing is not something that would keep him out of a game, 4 days later. So we'll see. If Chalobah and Fofana start, I want them to, because I feel like and to your point, are the most experienced center back tandem. When would you want to see Achimpong come on? And would he be the next to come on? Or would any of these others?
The thing is, in a normal Premier League team, you aren't substituting your center backs.
You're not subbing your CBs.
You're not subbing them unless there's an injury. So for me, I expect our subs to be the players who actually need it, not the back line isn't where we should be subbing. In the Premier League, you play the whole game.
Yeah.
There's usually
even on a yellow. Though I do think it was probably
the whole game.
Yeah, it was probably a smart smart idea for Maresca to sub off Chalobah in that Atalanta. Was it Atalanta or Bournemouth? In that game?
Atalanta, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably smart. It was, highly contested Champions League match, and our defenders needed to step up and go and tackle. So to make that sub, I agree with. But to your point, like, you don't sub center backs.
You don't.
like,
even when I'm thinking of like, usually when the stats come out at the end of the season, you see who's played every minute, and it's usually the goalies and it's usually your center backs like Gabriel or Saliba, if they're not having any injuries. Like, you just don't sub your back line.
And I was just about to say that. I was about to say, like, we can spread this past center backs, like your whole back line.
Yeah, you typically aren't subbing those. But again, typically for most teams, the demand isn't that high. But because Maresca is playing around with these inverted styles, the demand on our fullbacks is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you've got Cucurella making a run in the box.
He's up the field. He is up the field. And he does his thing.
I think I would love to see if Maresca can manage that differently so that our fullbacks don't have that much pressure to create.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think those should be the positions creating opportunities like that in the box, in my opinion.
I agree with you, but at very least, they need to stay on the field. And even, unfortunately, Cucurella has played a lot of games, but shoot, Moises did the same thing last year.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be on the field. And I think, I didn't think Moises was as sustainable. So I'm really interested to see what happens, him coming back after this little rest. Obviously, he played in the Champions League match this midweek, but I'm really interested. But okay, Fofana, Achampong, and or Chalobah, or I should say Fofana and Chalobah with Achampong steady at the wing. It's not at the wing, but steady waiting in the wing.
If we trust him, we should just start playing him so that we can get more of an identity back there. I think we should start playing him.
100%. Center defensive midfielders, we are missing Moises for one more game. We've been seeing Reece James feature in the midfield, which that's what I'm talking about. Like, Reece James is a right back. I've said it before. Again, against the Arsenals, like you said, against Barcelona, maybe he provides a really interesting dynamic that is, just kind of a good counter, like an unguardable player.
So I think with Enzo's performance as of lately, I don't trust him defensively. He hasn't been working hard in that area. So I'm gonna probably put Santos and Reece, just because Reece, I know he'll work defensively, and I think he'll give us those options of playing out those longer balls to our wingers. And Santos is gonna work hard defensively for Moy. So I would say. So.
So we're saying Reece will start midfield, and Reece is our best midfielder available, is basically what we're saying. Or the best player available.
Yeah, in the sense, because after Enzo's past games, I don't want him there. I feel like I can't trust him to do any work defensively.
Yeah, I agree with you. And without Moises really backing him up, then
But I also want to see Enzo at the 10.
Man, welcome to where I've been all year. It's like, we know Enzo's a good player. And even to a certain extent, maybe Enzo has to be on the field. But especially in this current form,
in his form right now, I don't want to see him at the 10. I thought in the month of November he was fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah,
he was fine.
Right
but
now,
with the team's current form, is it better to have
with the team's current form? But then it's tricky because then he's not on the field, which I don't see Maresca doing. But actually, I may see him doing because he went on a rant about how he's playing every single minute. So I could see not putting him in, and then we're all going to complain because we're like, hey, this is a big game. It's tough to see him not play. I'm gonna go ahead and throw him in there, maybe just because, to your earlier point, which I will let usurp this point of availability. I think our back line needs to develop some kind of consistency all the way, and I need to see Reece in that back. So in my head. Oh, sorry, see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, just in my head, Enzo is not our best. He doesn't fit when we're at our best. He has good and bad games, whatever. But he is one of the more senior players. He is a vice captain. He needs to be on the field, at least for this game, I think.
And so I think this is where I think Maresca has mismanaged because we're here in December and there just hasn't been consistency. He's missed opportunities for us to get that rhythm.
Yeah.
Because we saw this early on. We saw Hato and Achimpong have to come on early on in the Liverpool games and stuff. So it's not like you haven't seen these players perform.
Right.
I think he's missed the opportunity.
Certainly to work Josh in.
To work Josh
Certainly.
in and to work pairs in different games.
Yeah.
So if maybe in the Carabao Cup, I felt like last year we knew who was playing in
in Conference League, in Carabao Cup.
We knew what that lineup was, and
Right.
we knew what our Premier League lineup was.
Yeah.
All this meshing around, that I think that's a part of why we're not seeing much consistency. I think he's missed opportunities, so now we've got to backtrack in how do
Let me ask you this. Were you in shock when you saw Jamie Gittins start versus Atalanta midweek? I hadn't seen Jamie Gittins. I was thinking Garnacho, Neto, Esteban.
I didn't do my research properly. I thought Atalanta was like lower in the table. I think they're like third in the Champions League.
No, they're top.
For some reason, I thought this was like an Ajax game. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay. Then when I saw where they were, I was like, oh gosh, why did he do that?
Yeah, they're not performing so well in Serie A, but they're doing really well in the Champions League. That's what it was.
Why I thought they were like, I knew they were like 12th. So I was like, oh, okay. But
it's the Champions League. You can't underestimate. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to rotate. I don't care if we're playing Ajax. I don't care if we're playing Gibraltar. You don't rotate players in the Champions League. Yeah. Premier League, you're going to have to. You're going to have to figure it out, right? There's so many games. And then again, if we want to work some new stuff in, do it in the League Cup. We got FA Cups coming soon as well. I just want to shout out Pal Foes, an Everton fan watching us right now. He says, good show. Love your graphics, Everton fan. Appreciate you. Good luck tomorrow, but I'm sorry. We're taking this all the way. Yeah. Okay, so we got Andre Santos and Reece James. It looks like Reece James midfield. And again, I don't mind it. I just want consistency, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to get to that consistent lineup. And I don't think Reece James is a consistent midfielder for us. Again, he's a patchwork for what we're lacking right now, missing Esugo and missing Lavia. You know, we have a lot of players.
Yeah, that's been a den. I mean, not having Lavia is just
crazy.
Yeah.
And it's starting to be really kind of worrisome because it's
starting to be problematic. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you stay healthy?
Yeah.
But again, Andre Santos also hasn't gotten as the opportunities he should have. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm telling you, I can't back Maresca. I can't. I'm actually just gonna flat out say that. I'm gonna flat out say that so that you guys know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I am a woman of my word. Yeah. And just know where I'm at is like, I can't really back him. I've been saying this prior on. I've been trying to tell you guys where I'm at in the sense of like, even the Barcelona game, giving him that credit, this and that, seeing that he's learning.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't necessarily want a manager who's learning right now at Chelsea Football Club. I don't want that.
It's tough. Again, it's not that we're not, and at some point, and I'm not fully ready yet, but I do need to throw this out there. We're going to have to accept at some point that we're not the same Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
We're Rugrats FC. We've got tactician, extraordinaire in Maresca, and we have to figure out how to make it work. And again, in big games, in tournament games, it works. It's just not consistent. We're going to keep it going here because we gotta keep it going. Let's do, what are we doing? Midfielders. We're going to do, center midfielder?
So probably and I think Cole's going to start because he didn't travel.
Cole's got to start, right?
And I think he has to. He's got to catch up.
For sure.
You've got to catch up. You've got this backing. You've got a name.
Yeah.
You've got a name now of being our best player. I heard someone say this week, which I think is crazy. He said Cole Palmer is the best player in the Premier League. I said, you need to chill out. I don't think that.
I mean, to your point of not backing Maresca, I will back Cole anywhere. That's like where I'm at with him. I know it's like, it's crazy. So even that crazy of a take, I'll still go, you know what? Let's see. Like, he's been injured. Let's see. He was really rough. He was really sketchy against Bournemouth. That was his first start since coming back from injury, and it wasn't great. But I still saw, like you said, those little moments of brilliance where he is just smart enough to like dummy the ball and let it run through him, or get out of a quick tight space. Like it was that. We just need to get the shooting and the passing back where it needs to be. But I don't know who put Facundo. I would like to see him maybe in the Leagues Cup when we play a little bit later, but we need to see Cole Palmer starting.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
100%. We're going to go to wingers. We're going to do left wing, right wing, and then striker. And then we're just going to look at the lineup as our last little bit, just to see it.
I definitely want to see Garnacho. I really like what he brings. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Great service. He even had good service to Cole. Cole just couldn't put it away. Yeah. I love what he brings.
I agree with you. I love what he brings. Again, I'm kind of treating this as I want to see our best lineup out there, and I'm not quite sure between Garnacho and Estevao. I'm not quite sure I would choose Garnacho. So in that case,
more consistent. Obviously, Estevao is brilliant. You see that flair.
Yeah, and I don't
know what we're gonna get.
I don't need consistency. Neto gives me that consistency. I need a consistent winger in Neto, and then I need somebody who can actually, like, when the ball comes to his feet, I can be really excited about the opportunity of doing something. Garnacho consistently gets crosses in. He consistently, he consistently, I guess, he's consistent in creating danger, but I think Estevao's danger is higher, if that makes sense. Maybe it's not as consistent.
Estevao is definitely a threat. I think he's the person you put on at the 60th minute. I think Maresca does not use the correct window with the subs. I think Estevao is your 60th minute for sure.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving over. We see from us and audience, it looks like Pedro Neto starting on the left, which means there's only two options to start on the right. And really one option, right, in Estevao. So,
the thing is, I think it's going to be Garnacho and Neto, just because Neto is our best attacker this season.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting there. Gittins, where do you want to see Gittins come on?
I don't.
Okay, so Carabao Cup. We're going to keep him in the Carabao Cup rotation.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm seeing Mark Guiu starting up top. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. It's got to be João Pedro, right?
Well, it's crazy when your strikers aren't performing that well that you have to choose Mark Guiu.
That's true. That is true.
Because the thing is, Mark Guiu, his press, he presses more than Pedro and Delap. Obviously, we won't have Delap, or we likely won't have George. He hasn't even been included in the lineup.
Yeah, I haven't seen George. I'm not sure if he's injured or okay. Interesting. But Delap is for sure. Did you hear anything about they say
they're not sure, 2, 3, 4 weeks. There's no fracture, but they say Delap's our new 007.
I mean, he is, unfortunately. And I look at you. I'm gonna give Delap the grace of saying that he unfortunately has come under too much injuries this season. But I mean,
it's our number 9, curse.
That's our number 9. Right. You took that number. See, we were talking about that. He's the number 9. The club trusts in you, believes in you. You know, João Pedro didn't want that he didn't want them heads. Actually, he came after Delap anyway. So, wow, I'm seeing a lot of Mark Guiu. That's great. Again, I'm talking about my best lineup. João Pedro's got to be there. João Pedro's definitely got to be there. We're playing at home, Alexis. So one of the final questions, just to kind of remind us where we are and who we are. It's regarding. First we're gonna pick our right wing, which I think is Estevao, since we've picked Neto. I think you're picking Neto because you want Garnacho to start. We'll see. We'll see what Maresca eventually does. But I'm going to move on past that because we've talked about these wingers. And again, we only have one really starting winger. And it's funny, at the beginning of the season, we weren't even sure we wanted to start him. But that's Pedro Neto. Everybody else needs to be rotated accordingly.
I've always loved Neto. Guys, one thing about me, I will back who I back. I have always loved Neto. I loved him last season. And I've always loved him.
Yeah. This is showing up in a very interesting way. I guess you have to add your name, which I'm just going to put EPB, and join the quiz. This quiz, when everybody's ready, is when's the last time? I'm waiting for the question to pop up. 4 players ready. I think 4 players is good. Maybe we all have to press the thumbs up. The question is, can you name the last time Everton beat Chelsea at home at Stamford Bridge?
Wasn't it like 31 years ago? Sorry, did I already win?
That's exactly it. You won, but it really should say it. I'm not sure why it's not saying it, but it was. It was supposed to be a multiple choice question. We'll skip that right now, but it was 1994. November 1994. So it was 31 years and 1 month ago. That should at least give us some kind of like, all right, breathe. Let's not get complacent, but let's like be honest. Like, we're still playing Everton at home. They haven't won at the Bridge in years. Now, granted, they have drawn at the Bridge, and we need these 3 points. So we need a win, absolutely, positively. I just want to take one look at this lineup. This is the last thing I do.
Also should have researched is what's the highest Everton has finished in the last 31 years. I'm curious.
That is actually a great question. That's a great question. Alexa, what's the highest Everton Football Club has finished in the Premier League in the last 30 years?
Everton's highest Premier League finish in the last 30 years was 4th place in the 2004-05 season.
Wow. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. This is a mid-table team. They're doing well. Shout out Moyes, shout out Grealish, shout out all of them, but they're doing well. This is, I think at the beginning of the season, we put a lineup like this together. This was what we wanted to see. I think I moved Levi Colwill out of Chalobah's position. But these are still all of the players, not all of them healthy, obviously, Moy Caicedo. Any specific changes that you would make as this is our strongest lineup? Would you make any changes to this? I think you said Neto right, Garnacho left.
Yeah, those would probably be the only changes.
That's the only changes.
Yeah.
So this basically is our strongest lineup.
Neto on the left isn't our strong. He could play. He
can play either way. Either way, and that's what I'm saying. For the wingers, he'll just have to rotate.
Yeah, this is probably our strongest lineup.
This is probably our strongest lineup. So I think we need to, for now on, and I'm just going to leave this like this going forward, and I'll start to create a depth chart around this. We need to start to build around this squad and then create depth rotations. So again, if Esteval starts tomorrow, maybe Neto comes off, on comes Garnacho. You know, maybe Palmer comes off, Esteval moves to the 10, Neto moves to the right, on comes Garnacho. Like, is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think the most interesting part is like rarely post-match are you talking about teams losing the games off of substitutions. And I think, you know, it's usually something else that's uncontrollable as much. But
yeah. We need to get our subs in order though. We need to get everybody in order.
Yeah.
Predictions. What's the score tomorrow?
2-1.
2-1. Oh, we're gonna not a clean sheet at home against Everton. All right. I'm with you. I
want it. And the thing is, it's not going to be Rob Sanchez's fault, though.
It's not going to be Rob Sanchez.
No, he's been very
good.
But
I want Fofana and Chalobah or Achampong if he gets the start. I want him to lock that. I want them to just lock it down. I do want Reece James. Enzo's going to start, I think. I want Reece James to just start in the back with Cucurella and just kind of settle our back line because we've just been unsettled. Sure. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to say we preserve the clean sheet. We'll probably go up early and then struggle to like finish them off. And then maybe we get one more. I think that's where we're at with Everton. Hopefully we see it. And then again, we have one more game midweek. It's the Carabao Cup. I'm sorry. We've got Cardiff on Tuesday after this game. again, looking at this lineup, looking at our main kind of squad, what changes would you make to play Cardiff and the Carabao Cup?
So I think that's when you play your Gittins, your Buonanotte, because that's what we saw when we played Wolves.
Yeah.
Which Wolves is in the mud.
Yeah, Wolves super in the
You're
mud.
talking about a team in the mud. It's Wolves. But yeah, that's when you play those players, and that's when we thought you play those players based off of last season.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen because he's mismanaging poorly? I think you're just going to get players who are upset.
They're gonna be everywhere.
You're gonna get players who now are knocking on your door when you could manage this. I think last year commentators, they talked highly about Maresca because he kind of was making all the players happy by knowing who's going to play in this competition and knowing who's not. So I just think there's just like poor mismanagement all around in the sense of like, I can't see someone like Jorgensen being happy with what's happening right now because it's like, so yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But again, this is our core. This is what we need to stick to. Hopefully Maresca figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, again, it's Matt and Alexis here, y'all. I appreciate everybody who's tapped in. Jablu, I can't say your name, but Jablu Kinney coming in with some stats. Reese Fan, Terminator's in here. All of the homie Joshi in the building. Appreciate you tapping in as well, always. Again, True Blues, Proper Chels in the building. It's us always giving you what's new.
And what's blue.
And what's blue. We will see you. Come on, you
up
blues.
The Chels, up the
Chels. Tomorrow,
Bye,
7 a.m. And to answer your question, Reese, I will be live streaming. So if anybody wants to watch the game early in the morning, 7 a.m., at least on the West Coast, I'll be here. Come tap in, youtube.com/@eatprayball. We will see you guys later next week. Hopefully we have 2 wins coming into the next starter bench next week.
We need it. We really need it.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Okay. Peace. Bye, guys.